Myra sat on the edge of the bustling marketplace on the planet Theros, her heart heavy with the weight of whispered insults. Around her, vibrant stalls overflowed with colorful goods. Merchants shouted about their wares, and families laughed. As they enjoyed the day, yet, Myra felt completely alone. At 17, she was known not for her talents but for her failures, and the word useless clung to her like a shadow. Despite her telekinetic powers, which should have set her apart, she struggled to control them. While others could lift heavy objects with ease or perform intricate feats of telekinesis, Myra often found herself accidentally causing chaos. She recalled the last time she tried to help her mother in the kitchen. The simple task of moving a pot had turned into a disaster, sending ingredients flying everywhere. Her mother's disappointed sigh still echoed in her mind as she watched the happy crowd. Myra sighed, wishing she could be like them, confident and carefree. Instead, she felt like an outsider, a burden to her family and friends. Just then, she noticed a figure watching her from a distance. An older man with silver hair and kind eyes stood by a stall filled with strange gadgets and devices. He seemed out of place among the busy merchants and customers. Curiosity piqued. Myra shifted her gaze. The man stepped closer, his expression thoughtful. "Why do you sit alone?" he asked, his voice gentle yet firm. Myra shrugged, unsure of how to answer. I don't fit in," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "Everyone thinks I'm useless." The man studied her for a moment, his eyes twinkling with understanding. "Useless? I see potential in you, young one. Your powers may be unrefined, but I believe there's a spark within you that could illuminate the darkest paths." His words surprised her. No one had ever spoken to her like that before. "Who are you?" she asked, intrigued. "I am Dr. Kale," he replied, extending a hand. "I study energy and its mysteries. I'm searching for someone with your abilities to join my research team. Together, we might uncover something extraordinary." Myra's heart raced at the thought. A chance to be part of something greater, to learn from someone who believed in her? It felt unreal. But what if I mess up? What if I can't do it? Doubt crept in, and she almost pulled away from the opportunity. Dr. Kale smiled reassuringly. "Mistakes are part of learning. I've made many myself. What matters is the courage to try. Will you come with me?" After a moment of hesitation, Myra nodded. Her heart thumped with a mix of excitement and fear. Maybe this was her chance to prove herself. They walked through the marketplace together, and for the first time, she felt a flicker of hope. As they arrived at Dr. Kale's lab, Myra was amazed. The place was filled with strange machines, glowing screens, and books stacked high. The air buzzed with energy. She felt a sense of belonging, a feeling she had longed for. Dr. Kale showed her around, explaining his research on a mysterious energy source discovered on a distant moon. "Many believe this energy holds the key to understanding our universe," he said. "But it requires someone with a unique connection to harness its power. I believe you can help us, Myra." Her confidence wavered for a moment. "But what if I can't control my powers? What if I fail?" Dr. Kale placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "You have more strength within you than you realize. With guidance and practice, you can learn to control your abilities. You are not useless. You are a vital part of this team." With those words, Myra felt a surge of determination. She would no longer let others define her worth. She was ready to embrace the challenge ahead. As she began her training, she felt the spark within her grow brighter, igniting a sense of purpose she had never known before. This was her chance to show the galaxy what she was capable of, and she was determined to seize it. Myra stood in Dr. Kale's lab, her heart racing with excitement and nervousness. The room was filled with strange devices and glowing screens, each humming with life. She could see scientists working diligently, their faces focused and serious. This was a world she had only dreamed of, and now she was a part of it. Dr. Kale walked over to a large screen displaying data about the mysterious energy source. "This energy is unlike anything we've encountered," he explained. "We believe it has the potential to change the fate of entire civilizations. But to unlock its secrets, We need your help, Myra. Mira nodded, feeling a mix of fear and determination. Oh, what do I need to do? She asked, eager to prove herself. First, we must understand your abilities better, he said. I want you to focus on moving small objects. Let's see how. Well, you can control your telekinesis. Dr. Kale placed a small metal cube on the table in front of her. It was smooth and shiny, reflecting the light of the lab. Mira stared at it, willing it to move. She took a deep breath, remembering his encouraging words. As she concentrated, she felt a familiar energy within her. With a gentle push from her mind, the cube wobbled slightly. Mira's heart soared. She could feel the connection. I did. It, she exclaimed. But her excitement caused her focus to slip. The cube flew off the table and crashed against the wall. Dr. Kale chuckled softly. That was a great start, but remember, you need to stay calm. Your emotions can affect your control. Mira felt a flush of embarrassment but nodded. We'll try again. Over the next few days, Mira practiced tirelessly. Under Dr. Kale's watchful eye, she learned to direct her energy more effectively. They started with simple tasks, lifting the cube, spinning it in the air, and even stacking multiple cubes. Each small success filled her with confidence. One afternoon, as she was practicing, a fellow researcher named Aaliyah approached her. Aaliyah was skilled, her powers refined and precise. You're improving quickly, Aaliyah said with a smile. But don't let the pressure get to you. We all started somewhere. Mira appreciated Aaliyah's kindness. I just want to do my best. Just remember to breathe, Aaliyah advised. It helps clear your mind. Mira took those words to heart. As the days turned into weeks, she began to feel a connection not only to her powers, but to her teammates as well. They shared meals, stories, and laughter, forming a bond that made the lab feel like a second home. One evening, Dr. Kale gathered the team for an important announcement. We've made a breakthrough, he said, excitement lighting up his face. The energy source we've been studying is more than just a power source. It's a communication device. It's designed to send signals across the galaxy. Mira's eyes widened. What kind of signals? It can reach out to other civilizations, he explained. But we need someone with a strong connection to harness its full potential. Mira, I believe that person is you. Mira's heart raced. The thought of being able to communicate with other worlds. But what if I can't control it? She asked, doubt creeping back in. Dr. Kale smiled reassuringly. You've come so far already. With your training and focus, I know you can do it. This could be our chance to unite forces against the Zarkon threat. As the team began preparations for the experiment, Mira felt a mix of excitement and fear. They set up the energy device in the center of the lab, its surface glowing with a vibrant light. Mira took a deep breath, reminding herself of all the progress she had made. When the moment came, she stepped forward, her heart pounding. Dr. Kale stood beside her, offering silent support. As she placed her hands on the device, she concentrated. Reaching deep within herself for the spark of energy that had grown stronger over time, with every ounce of focus, she felt the device respond, pulsing with energy. The room filled with light as Mira connected to the energy source, her mind racing with possibilities. Could this truly be the key to saving her world and others? In that moment, Mira realized she was no longer the girl labeled as useless. Was a beacon of hope, ready to rise to the challenge and prove that she was capable of greatness. Mira stood in the lab, her hands resting on the glowing energy device. The air around her buzzed with anticipation as she felt the power coursing through her. Dr. Kale and the rest of the team watched with a mix of hope and apprehension. This was a pivotal moment, one that would determine not just her future, but possibly the fate of many worlds as she concentrated. The device began to pulse rhythmically, responding to her thoughts and emotions. Mira closed her eyes, focusing deeply, trying to clear her mind of doubt. In her heart, she felt a spark of connection to something greater than herself. She envisioned the energy flowing from her to the device, creating a bridge between them. Suddenly, the device emitted a bright beam of light, shooting up into the ceiling. The room filled with a warm glow, and Mira gasped as images began to swirl around her. She saw glimpses of distant planets, vibrant and alive, filled with creatures and civilizations she had only heard about in stories. It was breathtaking. "Keep focusing," Dr. Kale encouraged, his voice steady amidst the chaos. "You're doing it." With renewed determination, she pushed deeper into the connection. The images shifted, revealing a vast network of stars and planets, each pulsating with energy. Then she noticed something darker, shadow moving through the network. It was the Zarkon fleet, their ships looming menacingly. Ready to invade unsuspecting worlds? Fear gripped Mira. "They're coming," she whispered, her voice trembling. "We have to warn them." "Yes, but we need to send a message, Doctor," Kale replied urgently. "Can you reach out to them?" Mira nodded, her heart racing. She concentrated harder, focusing on the energy of the device. She imagined herself sending a warning across the stars, a beacon of hope, reaching out to allies in danger. The light from the device intensified, filling the room with an almost blinding glow. Suddenly a voice echoed in her mind. "Who calls?" It asked, strong and commanding. Mira gasped, startled. "Mira, we need to warn you. The Zarkon are coming. They plan to invade." The voice paused, and she felt a wave of scrutiny wash over her. "Your powers are unique. You speak truth. We will prepare." As the connection faded, Mira stumbled back, breathless. The team rushed to her side, concern etched on their faces. "Mira, what happened?" Leah asked, her eyes wide. "I spoke to them," Mira replied, still trying to catch her breath. "They know about the Zarkon now. We need to prepare ourselves too." Dr. Kale placed a hand on her shoulder. "You did it, Mira. You communicated with another civilization? This is a monumental achievement." But Mira couldn't shake the feeling of dread. What if it's not enough? What if the Zarkon attack before we're ready? Dr. Kale's expression turned serious. "We need to move quickly. We must fortify defenses on Theros and gather allies. Your connection to the energy source will be crucial in coordinating our efforts." As the team sprang into action, Mira felt a sense of urgency. They worked tirelessly, strategizing and planning. Mira's training intensified as she learned to harness her abilities for communication and defense. Each day she grew stronger, more confident in her powers. Weeks passed, and the atmosphere in the lab shifted. The sense of camaraderie deepened as they all worked toward a common goal. Myra felt like she belonged, but the looming threat of the Zarkon weighed heavily on her mind. One evening, as they reviewed their plans, Myra overheard Dr. Kale speaking. To Aaliyah, "If we can harness the energy source's full potential, we could create a defensive shield around the planet. It might just be enough to protect us." Mira's heart raced at the idea. "Can I help? I want to contribute more, Doctor." Kale turned to her, pride shining in his eyes. "Absolutely. Your connection is key. Together, we can amplify the energy and create the shield." With a renewed sense of purpose, Mira dedicated herself to the task. She practiced day and night, channeling her energy into the device, working alongside her teammates. As they prepared for the coming storm, she felt the spark within her grow brighter, transforming her fear into determination. Finally, the day arrived when they would attempt to create the shield. Myra stood at the center of the lab, surrounded by her friends and allies. "We can do this," she said, her voice steady.
Together.
With a deep breath, she focused on the energy source, channeling all her strength and belief into it. The room filled with light as the device activated. She could feel the energy building, ready to create a barrier that could protect them all. As the light swirled around her, Mira knew this was just the beginning. She was no longer the girl labeled as useless. She was a force to be reckoned with, ready to defend her world and fight for the future. Mira stood at the center of the lab, surrounded by her teammates, their faces illuminated by the bright light of the energy device. The air crackled with anticipation as they prepared to create the defensive shield that could protect Theros from the impending Zarkon invasion. Mira felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. This was her moment to shine. Dr. Kale placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Remember, Mira, You are the key to this plan. Focus on your connection with the energy source. We're all counting on you." Taking a deep breath, Mira nodded. She closed her eyes, trying to calm her racing heart. She could feel the energy flowing through her, warm and vibrant, almost like a living thing. With each breath, she envisioned the shield forming around Theros, a protective barrier that would keep them safe from harm. "On my count," Dr. Kale said, his voice steady. 3, 2, 1. Now, Mira opened her eyes and directed her energy toward the device. Light intensified, filling the room and spilling out into the corridor. She could feel the power building within her, and with it came a sense of purpose. She imagined the shield expanding, enveloping Theros and its people. As she concentrated, the device began to vibrate. Wave after wave of energy flowed from her. Merging with the light, the walls of the lab shimmered, and for a moment, Mira thought she could see the shield starting to take form. It flickered like a mirage, but it was there, and it was beautiful. "Keep going, Mira," Aaliyah shouted, her voice filled with encouragement. "You can do it." Mira felt a surge of confidence from Aaliyah's words. She pushed herself harder, pouring every ounce of her strength into the shield. The vibrations increased, and suddenly, a blinding flash erupted from the device, filling the lab with a brilliant light. Mira squinted, feeling the energy pulse around her like a heartbeat. Then, the light steadied, and the room fell silent. Mira blinked, trying to adjust her vision. When she looked around, her heart skipped a beat. The shield was no longer just a flickering light. It had solidified into a shimmering barrier that surrounded the lab, glowing with a protective aura. Dr. Kale and the team erupted into cheers, their voices echoing in the excitement. "We did it," Mira exclaimed, overwhelmed with joy. She had helped create something that could truly protect their world. But as the celebration continued, shadow loomed over Mira. The Zarkon threat was still very real, and she knew they needed to be ready for the battle ahead. "What do we do now?" she asked, her voice steadying as she faced her teammates. Dr. Kale nodded, his expression serious again. "Now, we prepare. The Zarkon fleet is on its way, and we must be ready to defend our home. We'll use the shield to help coordinate our forces and protect civilians." Mira felt a sense of responsibility wash over her. She was no longer just a girl trying to prove herself. She was a vital part of a team fighting for their future. They spent the following days training and strategizing, working together to ensure everyone knew their roles in the upcoming conflict. As the day of the invasion drew closer, Mira found herself reflecting on her journey. She had gone from feeling useless to being an integral part of something much larger than herself. She had learned to harness her powers, and now she was ready to fight for her home and her people. On the eve of the battle, the team gathered in the lab. The atmosphere was tense, filled with a mix of determination and anxiety. Dr. Kale spoke, his voice calm but firm. "Tomorrow, we face a great challenge, but we do so together. Remember, we are stronger united. Elvira, your connection to the energy will guide us." Mira nodded, feeling a sense of unity among her teammates. They were more than just colleagues, they were a family. As they shared stories and laughter, she felt a warmth spreading through her heart. She knew they would fight for each other, and that made her even more determined. That night, as she prepared for bed, Mira looked out at the stars. They seemed to twinkle with promise, reminding her of the worlds that awaited beyond their own. She felt a quiet strength within her, a spark that would not be extinguished. In the morning, the sun rose over Theros, casting a golden light across the landscape. Mira stood with her team, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they would defend their home and protect the universe from the darkness that threatened to engulf it. With her newfound strength and the support of her friends, Mira felt ready to take on the world. As dawn broke over Theros, Mira stood at the edge of the command center, her heart pounding with both excitement and fear. The sky was painted in shades of orange and pink, but she could feel the tension in the air. Today was the day they would face the Zarkon fleet, and she knew that everything they had worked for was about to be put to the test. Dr. Kale gathered the team around a large holographic display that projected the layout of the planet and the incoming enemy ships. "Listen up, everyone," he said, his voice steady and commanding. "The Zarkan fleet is approaching rapidly. We have one chance to defend our home. We will use the energy shield to protect the city while we launch a counterattack." Ira nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. She glanced around at her teammates. Aaliyah, who had become a close friend, Jox, the skilled pilot, and several other scientists and soldiers all ready to fight for their world. They were united, and that gave her strength. "Remember your training," Dr. Kale continued. "Mira, your connection to the energy will be crucial in maintaining the shield. Focus on it and keep it strong. Need to protect as many civilians as possible while we engage the enemy." As the team prepared, Mira took a moment to gather her thoughts. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath, recalling all the hard work and training that had led her here. Remembered the first time she had struggled with her telekinetic powers and how far she had come. This was her moment to shine, and she was determined to make a difference. "Let's do this," she whispered to herself, her spirit lifting. The sound of alarms blared throughout the command center, snapping her back to the present. The holographic display showed the Zarkon ships descending from the skies, dark and menacing. Mira's heart raced. They were here. "Positions," Dr. Kale shouted. The team sprang into action, taking their places at control stations and readying their weapons. Mira moved to the energy device, feeling the familiar warmth beneath her fingertips. As the first wave of Zarkon ships approached, Mira focused on the energy shield. She felt the power flowing through her, strong and vibrant. She closed her eyes, visualizing the shield expanding around the city, a protective barrier that would keep everyone safe. "Now," Dr. Kale commanded, "activate the shield." With a surge of energy, Mira directed her powers into the device. A brilliant light erupted, forming a shimmering barrier that enveloped the city. The Zarkon ships collided with the shield, and Mira felt the impact reverberate through her. She gritted her teeth, focusing harder to maintain the shield's strength. "Hold it steady," Leah called out from her station, coordinating the team's efforts. They're regrouping for another attack. Mira could see the Zarkon ships, circling their weapons, charging for a second assault. She could feel the strain of holding the shield, but she refused to let go. "I won't let them through," she whispered fiercely to herself. The Zarkon ships opened fire, and bright beams of energy collided with the shield. Mira felt the pressure increase, and she struggled to keep it intact. "I need more power," she shouted, her voice filled with determination. Dr. Kale quickly adjusted the settings on the energy device. "We can amplify the shield. Everyone, focus your energy through Mira." Mira felt the rush of energy from her teammates as they channeled their powers into her. The shield brightened, shimmering with renewed strength. "Thank you," she called out, feeling their support lift her spirits. With the amplified shield holding strong, the team launched their counterattack. Jox piloted their ships into the fray, engaging the Zarkon fleet with precision and skill. Aaliyah fired energy blasts from their weapons, targeting the enemy vessels and helping to clear the skies. Mira watched as the battle unfolded, her heart racing with adrenaline. She could hear the sounds of explosions and the cries of her teammates, but she remained focused on maintaining the shield. The Zarkon ships continued to bombard them, but the barrier held firm, protecting the city and its people. Suddenly, a massive Zarkon ship broke away from the formation and headed straight for the energy device in the command center. Mira's heart sank. "They're coming for us," she shouted. "We have to protect the device." Dr. Kale quickly gathered a group of fighters. "We'll divert their attention. Mira, keep the shield up." With a surge of determination, Mira poured all her energy into the shield, reinforcing it with everything she had. She watched as her teammates engaged the Zarkon forces, courageously defending their home. The battle raged on, but Mira felt a new sense of purpose. She was no longer the girl who was called useless. She was a warrior, fighting for her world. And as long as she had her friends by her side, she knew they could overcome any challenge. Mira stood at the command center, her heart racing as the battle raged around her. The energy shield glimmered brightly, holding strong against the Zarkon fleet's relentless attacks. She could feel the weight of responsibility pressing down on her, but she was determined to protect her home and the people she cared about. Stay focused. Dr. Kale shouted above the din of alarms and explosions. We need to maintain the shield and prepare for their next move. Mira nodded, her hands gripping the console of the energy device. She closed her eyes for a moment, taking a deep breath to steady herself.
Right.
She could sense the energy flowing through her, a powerful force that connected her to the shield and her teammates. With every pulse of energy, she felt stronger, more capable. Suddenly, the holographic display flickered, showing the Zarkon ships regrouping for a new attack. Mira's stomach twisted with anxiety. They're planning something big, she warned, glancing at Dr. Kale. We need to do something fast. Dr. Kale studied the display, his brow furrowed in concentration. We can't let them overwhelm us, Jox Aaliyah. I need you to take a squadron and create a diversion. Draw their fire away from the shield. Jox, always ready for action, grinned. We'll give them something to think about. He turned to Aaliyah, and together they prepped their ships for takeoff. Be careful, Mira called out as they launched into the chaos of the battle. She watched as their ships darted through the air, firing at the Zarkon vessels, creating a distraction that gave her a moment to breathe. As the Zarkon ships focused on Jox and Aaliyah, Mira concentrated on the shield. She could feel the pressure building as more enemy blasts hit the barrier. Stay strong. Stay strong, she whispered to herself, pushing her energy into the shield. It flickered, but held firm, a testament to her determination. Suddenly, a loud explosion echoed in the command center. Mira gasped and turned to see a section of the shield weakening. I can't let it break, she shouted, pouring more energy into the device. She felt lightheaded as she strained to maintain control. Mira, we're losing power, one of the technicians yelled. We need more energy to keep the shield stable. Everyone, focus your energy through Myra, Dr. Kale ordered. We can amplify the shield if we all work together. Mira felt a rush of energy as her teammates channeled their powers into her. It was overwhelming, but invigorating. She could feel their strength merging with hers, and she opened her eyes wide, channeling it all into the shield. The barrier glowed, brighter, shimmering with renewed vigor. Great job, everyone, Dr. Kale shouted, his voice filled with encouragement. Now let's push back. With the amplified shield holding strong, Jox and Aaliyah led their team in a counterattack. Mira watched with pride as they maneuvered skillfully through the air, firing at the Zarkon ships and forcing them to retreat. But just as victory seemed within reach, a massive Zarkon battleship emerged from the clouds, larger than anything they had faced before. Myra felt a chill run down her spine. What do we do? It's too big, she cried. Dr. Kale's expression was grim. We need to target its weak points. If we can disable it, the rest of the fleet may fall apart. Mira took a deep breath, trying to quell her fear. I can help. I can focus the energy to amplify our weapons. Do it, Dr. Kale urged. But you'll need to concentrate harder than ever. Mira nodded, determination flooding her veins. She focused on the energy device, feeling the vibrant power flowing through her. She envisioned the energy reaching out to their weapons, enhancing their strength. Now, she shouted, fire at the battleship. The team unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, and Mira felt the surge of power as her focus amplified their attacks. The blasts hit the Zarkon battleship, and for a moment, it seemed to stagger. But then it retaliated, firing a massive beam of energy toward the command center. Mira, shield us, Dr. Kale yelled. With every ounce of strength, Mira raised the shield just in time. The beam struck the barrier with a deafening crash, and Mira felt the force ripple through her. She struggled to hold it, feeling the energy draining from her. Keep it up, Mira, Aaliyah shouted, her voice filled with urgency. You can do this. Mira gritted her teeth, channeling her friend's energy along with her own. As the shield absorbed the attack, she focused on the battleship, determined to turn the tide. We have to finish this, she declared. With one final push, she amplified her energy and directed it toward the battleship again. Her teammates, fired alongside her, and together, they unleashed a powerful strike that hit the battleship squarely. The ship erupted in a brilliant explosion, illuminating the sky. Cheers erupted in the command center as the Zarkon fleet began to retreat. There, morale shattered. Mira felt a wave of relief wash over her. They had done it. They had defended their home against an overwhelming threat. "Mira, you were incredible," Dr. Kale exclaimed, pride shining in his eyes. "You've proven that your powers are a force for good." Mira smiled, feeling a sense of belonging and purpose. She knew that she was no longer the girl who felt useless. She was a warrior, ready to fight for her world. Together with her friends, she had faced the darkness and emerged victorious. The journey was far from over, but she was ready for whatever came next. Mira stood at the command center, her heart racing from the intensity of the battle. The shield glimmered around the city, holding strong against the relentless assaults from the Zarkon fleet. She could feel the energy pulsing beneath her fingertips, a constant reminder of the power she now wielded. But a sense of urgency filled the air. They needed to end this fight before the Zarkon broke through. "Keep your focus, everyone," Dr. Kale shouted, his voice steady amidst the chaos. "Need to coordinate our next move?" Myra glanced at the holographic display which showed the positions of the Zarkon ships. They were regrouping, forming a line to launch a concentrated attack on the shield. "They're getting ready for a big strike," she warned. "I have to act quickly, Joxelia. We need a distraction," Dr. Kale ordered. "Something to draw their fire away from the shield." Jox nodded, determination lighting up his eyes. "I can lead a small group to flank them. We'll create a diversion."
Let's
"Do it," Aaliyah agreed, her fingers poised over the controls of their ship. "We'll make sure they don't see us coming." As Jox and Aaliyah prepared for their maneuver, Mira felt a swell of pride in her friends. They were all in this together, fighting for their home. "I'll keep the shield stable while you distract them," Mira promised, her voice filled with resolve. With a final nod, Jox and Aaliyah launched their ships into the chaos. Mira concentrated on the shield, feeling the energy flow through her. The Zarkon ships began firing at Jox's team, their weapons lighting up the dark sky. Myra channeled her energy, reinforcing the shield as best as she could, but the strain was beginning to show. She could feel her muscles aching, her mind racing to keep up with the pressure. "Stay strong, Myra," Dr. Calais encouraged. "You're doing great." Myra took a deep breath, focusing on the connection to the energy source. She could see the Zarkon ships trying to break through, but she refused to let them. "Not today," she whispered fiercely, pushing her energy into the shield. As Jox and Aaliyah's team engaged the enemy, a loud explosion rocked the area. Mira's heart dropped as she saw a piece of the shield flicker. No. "Oh," she gasped. Pouring more energy into it, she felt herself becoming lightheaded, but she couldn't give up now. Suddenly, a new voice echoed in her mind, the voice she had spoken to during her first connection with the energy source. "Mira, you are not alone." With those words, Mira felt a surge of strength. The energy flowed into her like a tidal wave, giving her the boost she needed. She opened her eyes, and the shield glowed brighter than ever before, pushing back against the Zarkon ships. "That's it," Dr. Kale shouted, "you're harnessing the full potential." Mira felt a wave of confidence wash over her. She could do this. She was not just fighting for herself. She was fighting for everyone on Theros. "I won't let you down," declared, channeling all her energy into the shield. The Zarkon fleet, realizing their attack was failing, began to retreat. Jox and Aaliyah took advantage of the moment, firing their weapons and pushing forward. Mira watched, her heart racing with hope. They were turning the tide. "Now's our chance," Jox yelled. "Let's finish this." With renewed determination, Mira focused on the energy source again. "Let's send a message," she shouted. "A warning to the Zarkon." Dr. Kale nodded. "Use the energy to amplify our signal. Let them know we will not back down." Mira concentrated, feeling the power surge through her. The device vibrated with energy as she sent out a powerful signal across the galaxy. "This is Mira of Theros. We will fight for our home, and we will not be defeated." The signal echoed through space, reaching other civilizations as a call to arms. Mira felt a sense of unity as she realized they were not alone in this fight. The galaxy was watching, and they were ready to stand with her as the Zarkon ships began to flee. Mira felt a wave of relief wash over her. They had done it. They had defended their home and sent a message to the universe that they would not be silenced. When the last of the Zarkon ships disappeared from view, the command center erupted in cheers. Mira's teammates surrounded her, their faces filled with joy and relief. "You did it, Mira," Leah exclaimed, hugging her tightly. "You were amazing." Dr. Kale beamed with pride. "You've proven that your powers are not useless. They are a beacon of hope for many." Mira smiled, her heart swelling with happiness. She had gone from feeling like an outsider to being a leader in a fight for her world. Together they had faced an overwhelming threat and emerged victorious. This was only the beginning of their journey, but she knew they would face whatever challenges lay ahead together.